Welcome, everyone. This is Sam, Live Production Tips and Tools, and welcome to the live stream. Today is gonna be a special day. Um, just a little quick, trying to fix few things here. So today is gonna be special because I'm actually gonna be talking about setting up your studio from home. Either you creating content for your ministry at home, or you creating content for YouTube or any other social media platform. Basically, I'm gonna be giving you some tips on how you can build a home studio. So I'm gonna show you basically some of the stuff that I'm using actually for this YouTube studio that I have here going on. But at the same time, if you guys have questions, also make sure you put them in the chat. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to actually help you. So I'll give you my tips. I'll give you some of my advice that I can actually, I've been doing this for years, but I have been doing YouTube actually. It's been over a year now, and I've been learning. I've been making some mistakes. I've been adjusting my studio. When I started out, I didn't have all the things that I have now, so I've been adding one thing at a time to a point where even now I don't feel happy about what I have. I feel like I need to keep adding more stuff. But again, it really, you don't have to have too much gear to create content. You don't really need to have some specific cameras, some specific software. Right now in 2022, you can actually get started using even your phone. You can start it. You can get started by using something as small or as small as your iPhone or your Android phone. So you don't really have to kind of get all this stuff that I'm gonna be showing you today. All you need to do is actually get the content, have the value, provide value to the people where you want to get the message to. That's what's most important. So again, let me know where you're watching from. Just little quick. I want to make sure everything is all set here. So let me know where you're watching from. Say hello in the chat if you're here watching live. And we're gonna get started. Obviously, not gonna wait for everybody to join. I'm gonna get started. So I'm gonna pull up actually my video. Let me just guys, I'm actually having a hard time with my chat tool today. I'm not getting the comments. I don't know why. I can see the chat, but I'm having issues actually getting the comments from you. So let me see. Let me see what's going on. That's one of the things actually you face when you're creating content, when you're producing yourself live. So sometimes something goes wrong, and you can get comments, or you can get something, your camera shuts down. So I'm trying to fix my chat to be able to see your comments coming in. I don't know why it's not showing up today. So bear with me, guys. So we got Kathy Okefi. Sorry if I got your name right. You say, where are you from? I'm from Canada. So I live in Canada. Thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate you being here. Let me know if you have questions, tips. Again, today I'm gonna be talking about some of how to build a home studio for social media. So I'm trying to pull up my video, guys, just to show you. But if you are here, make sure you say hello in the chat. Say hello in the chat and let me know how you doing, where you watching from, and all that kind of stuff, right? So welcome to the live stream. Again, my name is Sam, live production tips and tools. So how is everyone doing today? All right. All right, I got the video for you guys. So again, I'm gonna start with the video. So I'm gonna start showing you guys the video of my setup, my studio setup. Also hoping we're gonna get more people to join actually. So guys, let me know if the sound is good. Let me know if you can hear me well, and let me know where you're watching from. There we go. All right, got this the studio video right here. So let me show you guys what it looks like. All right, so so I got the video, and there we go. So I guess we're good to go. So again, welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you being here. I apologize, just been having some technical issues, but I got the video running. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to see your chat as well as you guys send questions. That would be awesome. So let's go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys what my setup looks like, and at the same time, so basically, as you can see, this is the background. That's the monitor that you see behind me. So when I switch to my main camera, you guys can see that's the monitor behind me. So basically, that's my editing desk. That's where I edit videos, because I am a videographer as well. So sometimes I'm working on YouTube videos for starters, but also do some wedding videography sometimes. So that's my editing station. Okay, what you see guys there, it's just a background that I put on it just to make sure it's just a picture that I put on it, you know, and just to make sure it looks good. So I can, if I remove it, you can see that it's just a monitor. So when I'm editing videos, I'll just turn around and I'll start editing videos there. Okay, so so I'm gonna go back, go ahead and actually put back the background. And what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go actually, so that's the monitor that I use and everything. So the way it works is I have one monitor behind me, obviously the one you just saw, and another monitor in front of me. That's where I'm looking at, that's where I'm running OBS, right? So let me show you, let me play the video so you guys can see the whole studio. That's gonna give you an idea. So yeah, so basically that's my monitor, and I mean, I use BenQ for, it's a 4K monitor. It's a nice monitor for editing videos. So when you're editing videos, you want to make sure you have good you have a good monitor that has good color accuracy and everything. So it has Rec 709. If you're into video production, you probably understand. And it's a 4K monitor. Okay, and that's the back of the monitor, just to show you real quick. Has HDMI input, it has display port input. I think it has like 3 inputs. It's an amazing monitor, and I kinda love it. Okay, so then we gonna if you see, that's the back of the monitor, and at the same time I have this small RGB light that I run right behind the monitor, and that's, it's actually it's called AVIS2 RGB pocket light. Okay, that's what really gives me this colorful background, just to make sure, you know, the background looks good. But without it, my background would just look white and it won't make any sense. So that's what it looks like. Okay, and yeah, so that's my keyboard, my mouse, and everything. All right, so basically, like, that's what really gives me the background, just to make sure it looks, you know, good and everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've got a few lights going on in the background as well. So I've got that cheap RGB bulb that I got from Amazon for like maybe 20 bucks, and I just took, you know, to create that colorful background and everything. And I've actually changed it up. I changed my background a little bit. I've added these two little lights. Those are small lights that I got from LumeCube. I'm gonna talk about those in a moment. So let's go back to the video, and as you can see, this is my main computer. So this is the computer, the same computer I use for editing and live streaming. So it's running multiple, it has like 3-4 HDMI outputs and HDMI and display port outputs, so it outputs to multiple screens. So again, I have the screen behind me, I have another screen in front of me that I'm using to live stream, and it's sending to my ATEM Mini, as well as a HDMI input into my ATEM Mini. I use that when I'm running graphics and stuff like that. That's pretty much it. So the computer is sending a USB signal and an HDMI signal. So I have an HDMI, kind of like a long HDMI, kind of coming to all the monitors on the other side where I live stream. You guys are gonna see it in a moment. But at the same time, I have a USB extender that is going to actually to my second live streaming station, where I have another keyboard and mouse and everything. So everything is connected to the back to the main computer. All right, so if we keep going with the video, so you guys can see this is my live streaming station. You can see the mouse, the keyboard, and that's the ATEM Mini Pro that I use, where I connect multiple cameras in there. So I have two cameras, one overhead and one main camera, the one you're watching right now. And I have, you guys seen, I have a Stream Deck as well connected, and that helps me to really control the ATEM Mini and OBS. So as you can see, I use OBS for live streaming. So that's the software, that's my main software that I use. I tried using some other software, especially when I'm trying to bringing in guests. I tried to use a software called Melon app, and it didn't work for me because I was trying to bring in guests, especially by the way, I'm gonna have a guest on Monday, so make sure you tune in. So but that did not work out, didn't work well for me, because I was having some audio issues. I just found like their audio, the way they encode their audio wasn't really good enough, so it wasn't sounding really good. So I ended up using a software called Video Ninja, which is a free software that you can actually use to bring in guests, and I've been actually testing it. You know, I've had a few shows with guests here on the live stream, and it worked well. So I kind of love it, and I've been using that ever since. So yeah, so that's OBS, again, my main live streaming software, and I love it. If you keep going, that's my second computer, and that's my, sorry, that's not a computer, it's just a monitor. So that's my second monitor, that's where I run the live streaming thing. You know, you can see OBS, you can see I've got a laptop when I want to share some stuff from that laptop connected into my ATEM Mini Pro as well, and the Stream Deck and everything is on this desk, as well as my overhead shot. So when I'm creating content, using my overhead camera, that's the little table that I use. So this is my Stream Deck, as you guys can see, and it's basically I use it to control the ATEM Mini, to run some macros and stuff. I do live stream on Amazon as well, so when I'm live streaming on Amazon, that's what I use to run my shows. So that's pretty much it. I use a software called a Companion. So basically Companion is like to be able to control the ATEM Mini, because you can't really control the ATEM Mini, and you can control the ATEM Mini using a Stream Deck. It's impossible. So the only way to access it is by using a software called, another free software called Companion, and that's what I use to create some scenes here and there by combining OBS, some graphics from H2R Graphics, and ATEM Mini Pro. Again, you don't really have to do this. This is like an advanced kind of setup. So you could start with something really simple by just plugging your camera with the microphone into OBS and get some sort of lighting, and you'll be good to go. So this is just me. This is something that I kind of have been building over time, and I got to something like this. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. So again, guys, feel free to ask questions if you have questions, but other than that, we keep going, and I'll keep showing you my studio. So this is it. This is my OBS, and as you can see, I can switch angles using my Stream Deck. So basically, I don't use the ATEM Mini to switch angles. I only use the Stream Deck to switch angles. And this is my overhead camera. That's basically when I'm shooting some stuff. So just to give you an example, if I'm shooting, let's say if I'm demoing products or I'm reviewing stuff, I always have this angle. I can show you little quick. So this is what it looks like. So basically this is where I can can review any product here, or when I'm reviewing stuff for you guys, this is my overhead shot. All right, so for the overhead shot, I'm using the Panasonic GX85. Okay, this is it. This is a nice tiny camera. I chose it because, first of all, I like it. I don't use it just for like getting this overhead shot, but I kind of love this camera. I use it sometimes to create some music videos because it has an amazing picture or image quality. So I kind of love it. So yeah, so I'm using that camera, and it's mounted to this Elgato mounting system. So we got the master mount and the Flex L mount from Elgato. Most of you guys maybe not gonna need this kind of setup unless you're creating content really for YouTube and stuff like that. But if you're not into creating review videos, you probably don't need this one. Okay, so yes, so then we get that monitor right there. So that's the monitor. That's actually where I'm actually playing this video. So it always helps to kind of have an extra monitor where you can play some extra stuff. So when I'm playing back some videos, I get to actually capture the monitor into OBS. So that's what usually I use it for. Or when I want to kind of preview stuff, I'll use that monitor to kind of let's say if I'm watching a video or I'm reviewing a video for you guys, I'll use that monitor. All right, so that's pretty much it. And then I'm using a 12 to 60 mm lens on the Panasonic GX85, which is another dope camera. Cheap, very cheap, around 400 on eBay. You could even get it even cheaper than 400, and this is an amazing camera you could actually use to live stream. I could use this camera as my main camera, so it's an amazing camera that I do love a lot. So that's pretty much it. That's my that's the flex arm from Elgato, which is an amazing mounting system, by the way. I really recommend it if you need this kind of stuff. But other than that, yeah, we keep going. You can see that's how I'm running all the HDMI cables going to the back. I have let me just show you a little quick. So yeah, so everything is going to the ATEM Mini Pro. So the feed coming from the Panasonic GX85 going to into the ATEM Mini, and that's how my if you guys remember, I talked about some USB mount extender. So my USB extender comes and gets into the USB hub, so that has full USB ports, and that's where I actually plug in my mouse, my keyboard for my live streaming desk. Okay, so everything is connected again on the same computer, but we have two different desks, okay, or two different workstations. So the second workstation, that's where all the, you know, everything USB related is plugged into the hub, and it connects back to the main computer. So that's how I'm running it, and that's, you can see how I mounted my screen and how I mounted my Elgato mounting system. And that's the USB hub where I plug a few stuff. I actually used to use that cheap capture cards as well, so I used to use it, and I'll plug in a camera before I start using the ATEM Mini Pro. So, which is something you could totally actually use. You don't have to get the ATEM Mini Pro, especially when you're building a studio from home. You could start with just a normal capture card, really cheap capture card, and that's my USB extender, and that's where the mounting system connects into. Sorry, the USB extender and the USB hub. That's where it kind of connects into, and then that's pretty much it. And my cable management is not so well. Again, you could understand because I'm still building the studio, so it's not done yet. So I don't want to clean up everything before I'm actually ready. So this is my lighting source right now. This is my key light. I use the Godox SL60W, which is an affordable light, really powerful, because I'm running it at 13% only, guys. So just to show you how powerful it is, actually that it does come with this little remote control, and this is what I use to actually control it. So when I start, before I start filming, or before I go live, I'll just have this little remote. It's always plugged in, ready to go. I just come in here and just boom, turn it on or turn it off when I'm done, and boom, that's it. So it's an amazing light, super bright. Again, I'm running it at 13%, guys, just to show you how bright it is. You know, I can't even run it to the maximum. So it's an amazing light, because I don't really use it just for recording or making live streams for YouTube. I also use this live streaming this light for for interviews, for my videography business, or any other stuff like creating music videos and stuff like that. Okay. So this is a cool light, and I think it's under $200, so really a good investment for a key light. So let's keep going. Other than that, what do we have? We have, yeah, so basically that's what my studio looks like. We got, you can see on the wall, I have a black like a black paper kind of thing with some soundproofing material. and that's basically to just make sure my sound is, is not bouncing back off of walls and stuff, just to avoid some echoes. And as you can see, this is like a zoom out of the full studio, so you can see the behind me, the little table behind me, that's my editing station or my editing desk. And you can see I just showed you the live streaming workstation, or the kind of content creation workstation, and that's pretty much it. So that's where I sit, and when I'm, live streaming, I'll just turn around and go to the streaming station. So yeah, again, I'm working with a very, very tiny space, so I had to make it work. So this is, you can see like all my cameras are actually running off of AC batteries, AC or dummy, AC adapter and dummy batteries. That's very, very important, especially if you are live streaming, because sometimes I live stream for 3-4 hours, maybe not here on YouTube, but if I'm live streaming for an hour, even if I'm live streaming for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, if you didn't charge your battery, you're gonna be running around trying to plug your batteries and stuff, or recharge or replacing batteries. That's something you want to avoid, especially when you're live streaming, because it's gonna add too much stress on you. So you want to avoid doing those kind of things. So that's why I have all my cameras plugged into the power, using some dummy batteries. So my main camera again is the Panasonic GH5. That's my main camera. That's why you guys are watching right now. And as you can see, all the cameras and everything are plugged into the wall. That's my AC adapter from Tengdangzing. That's the brand that I use. I use Tengdangzing, I use Kimuru, and I use Go9. So those three brands usually work well. And that's my power extension on my power strip with over 12 outlets. I love it because it has surge protection, which is very, very important, especially if you have all this equipment plugged into it. You want to make sure nothing crazy happens to it, especially when the power goes out and comes back. You want to make sure you protect it. So that's my Panasonic GH5. That's my main camera. That's what you guys, this is the angle that you guys are watching right here, and it's running it's running a 25 mm lens, f1.4, just to be able to get this amazing kind of blurry background. So I kind of love that look, but it also kind of like eliminates some distractions and stuff like that. So I kind of love it. So that's pretty much my studio. Let me see if you have something left. Yeah, I'm running also, I got this Fieldworld 5-inch monitor that I am running as well, just to it's connected to my ATEM Mini, so I'm able to switch to any angle that I want. I'm also able to use it as a confidence monitor, or like to be able to see myself, especially when I want to give you some eye contact, pretending that I'm looking into the lens, but also helps me to know if I'm in focus or I'm out of focus. So it's important to see myself, especially when I'm filming or live streaming, just to make sure everything looks good. Okay, so that's that. And sometimes I'll switch it to multi view. That's what you're seeing right now. And as we keep going, yeah, so that's my GH5, and that's my HDMI plugging into the Fieldworld 5-inch monitor. So that's pretty much it. That's how my studio is built for YouTube. Again, as I said, you don't have to have exactly the same thing if you're starting out on YouTube, or you're creating or building a studio for for YouTube or any other content creation purpose. Again, I know some people who watch my channel, some people come from church background. So if you are in a church background, and you have a church background, and you're trying to build maybe let's say some sort of a Zoom kind of conferencing setup, or you're trying to create a ministry where you could maybe preach from home, do some message sharing from home, again, I would say this video may be helpful to you because it will give you an idea on how you can actually get started. So to keep it simple, honestly, if you need to get something like what you're watching right now, the key things that you need, obviously the first thing, you're gonna need some sort of computer to be able to run OBS or to run some other software, streaming software. So I'll say OBS usually is good. It does the job if you don't want to spend money. But if you want to spend it, I mean, I don't want to say if you want to spend money, but OBS is a little hard to kind of learn. So if you're not familiar with it, it may take you time to kind of learn it. If you want to use some other softwares like vMix, or actually I would say for like, home ministries and stuff, I would say maybe go with something like StreamYard, because you're probably gonna be inviting guests. So StreamYard or Ecamm Live would be your best options to be able to bring in guests. So I'll say start with the computer, then from the computer choose a software that you feel comfortable with depending on your level and depending on your budget, and then from there you could actually add a USB microphone to that setup, before you even get to the camera part. Okay, I mean, for sure you're gonna need a camera, but you need a good audio. So I always recommend getting USB microphones, tend to sound better in most case scenarios. So if you can get any USB microphone, this is a USB microphone that I use and sounds really, really good. And it's kind of easy to set up. You just plug into your computer and then you can read it as an input in any software. So that's pretty much what I use, and then what I would say. And then from this the microphone, you can go ahead and actually after getting the microphone, go ahead and get a light. Okay, make sure you can start with some like a ring light if you don't want to spend a lot of money, especially if you want to keep it simple. You could use some sort of like, I think I have a ring light here that I can show you guys. So this is a ring light that I have here. This is something you can actually use when you're starting out. So you could start with something like this small ring light on a stand, and this will do. Just make sure in the background you put some sort of decoration, just to make sure the background doesn't look flat. And if you have a lamp or a bulb or something you can put in the background, it's gonna help you kind of separate you from the background. And then from there we're gonna go to the camera part. So again, you can start with the webcam or get an actual camera with the lens. So I do recommend, again, if you're on a budget, get some Lumix cameras. But if you have a little bit of money, I would say go with Canon, like the Canon M50 Mark II, or the some Sony cameras like the A6400 or the ZV-E10. Those are good cameras. If you get a good lens for those cameras, it should do the job. So start from getting a software, and then from the software, of course, on the computer, get your mic, get your lighting source, and get a camera from there. All right, and then you should be good to go. So it looks like we got a question in the comment. Let me see who's here. So we got Watered World say, with multi-view on ATEM Mini, do you need a dedicated monitor, or your main monitor can display this? Okay, so this is really thanks for the question and thanks for joining. So this is really subjective. So personally, I would say if you're building a bigger setup, right, where you want to see the big picture, you want to see every single detail, you could use 2 monitors, okay? But you don't have to get 2 monitors, because with the ATEM Mini you could actually get an option to get the multi-view or get the program out, right? So if you want to for instance, to preview something, let me see, am I able to share my multi-view? Probably not. Um, no, I can't. Maybe next time. Yeah, so like you could start with just one monitor, and it would work fine because you could see all the cameras coming in, from camera 1 to camera 4. You could see everything that's happening, and if you want to switch to one angle and see it full screen, you could still do it with just one monitor. So if you want to see some details, maybe adjust some colors and stuff. And that's actually how I run it. So when I'm watching myself, sometimes I'll switch to multi-view to be able to kind of see all the cameras and all the inputs coming in. But then when I'm live streaming, I don't need to see all the cameras, honestly, because I know what's on each camera. So I'll just switch to the main camera and watch myself. So if it's a simple setup, I would say you don't really need to get two monitors if you're using the ATEM Mini Pro. Okay, so we're on the ATEM Mini Pro. So if you're using the ATEM Mini, that's different, okay? Because the ATEM Mini gives you the multi-view. No, actually, the ATEM Mini does not give you the multi-view. It only gives you the program out. So that's completely different, okay? So I hope you meant the ATEM Mini Pro. But if you meant the ATEM Mini, just the ATEM Mini, um, um, yeah, so if you meant the ATEM Mini, it doesn't have the multi-view function. So you're gonna be switching to whatever camera you switch to. That's what's gonna go to live. And again, I would suggest if you, maybe your question was if you're streaming from using OBS, you need to have a dedicated monitor for just like to see cameras before you send them to OBS. The answer is no. You could simply have the ATEM Mini just as a capture card, and you're gonna send all the cameras, and you're gonna be able to see them through the USB cable that's going to your streaming software. So if you're using OBS, you're gonna be able to see the feed within OBS. If you're using StreamYard or whatever software you may be using, vMix, Ecamm Live, you're gonna be able to see your cameras coming in. Okay, the only thing is you're not gonna be able to see multiple cameras at the same time like a multi-view. That's the only difference. You could have a monitor, but in my opinion, actually, maybe the monitor, if you want to use it to adjust some colors and stuff like that, sure, you could actually have it, but you don't really have to get a dedicated monitor. So say, thanks, the ATEM Mini Extreme, but we are connected to PC, so not getting multi-view. Yeah, so oh, you have the ATEM Mini Extreme. Okay, I mean, that's even more advanced. So if you have the ATEM Mini Extreme, that's again, you don't have to get a dedicated monitor, but maybe if you're running multiple cameras, if you're running like 4, 5, 6 cameras, you probably want to have an idea of what you're getting from each camera before you send it live. I would say yes, you would need to get a dedicated monitor, but the dedicated monitor does not affect the fact that you could still send the signal to OBS or to vMix or any other streaming software. So the answer is you don't have to. But it would be ideal to actually get one, especially if you're running multiple cameras. If you're running maybe 1 or 2 cameras, you probably don't need it that much. So it really depends on you. But also if you have multiple people kind of working on your live stream, you probably need to give them a monitor, because most people don't understand how the whole thing kind of works. So by having like a dedicated monitor, and kind of bringing in a volunteer or someone who's going to help and kind of showing them, hey, this is a multi-view, and you can see all the cameras coming in, just to give you an idea, so when you switch to camera 1 or when you switch to camera 4, this is what you're gonna get. So it will kind of be very, very helpful, and I would recommend actually getting one, especially as soon as you hit more than 2 cameras. I think it's a must. It's a must having a dedicated monitor. So so I hope I was able to answer your question. So yeah, so like other than that, that guys, it's really like having a nice setup. Regardless of what you're trying to build, it's really about having good lighting. Very, very important. Get a good lighting solution. If you have good lights and your background, like the whole, you gotta create this good looking kind of studio-ish or stage-ish kind of good looking background, or like make sure the main subject is well lit, like make sure your lighting is well worked on, and make sure your camera, especially your white balance. So like make sure your key light color temperature matches the camera's white balance, so like to make sure you're getting these natural skin tones and everything. And once you got that nailed, man, like your live streaming, whatever your image should look good. Okay, so that's how you nail it. And then work on few things here and there, like the backlighting, adding some RGB lights in the background, separating yourself from the background. Just make sure there's some distance between you and the background. Don't be like have your main subject like against, close to the background. Kind of create some sort of depth between you and the background. It's gonna be very, very helpful. And if you got the money, you got the budget, make sure you get good lenses with lower aperture number that can give you this blurry background, especially for close-ups. Okay, not wide angles. For wide angles, it's okay, you don't have to get the blurry background on wide angles, but for close-ups you need to get lenses that can give you some sort of background blur. That's gonna make the whole thing kind of look more professional. And then from there, work on your audio. Very, very important. If you are in a place where you're capturing audio for multiple people, in a case, let's say if it's in a church, or you doing some events, or you getting audio for, let's say, for a podcast, I would say then if it's just more than one person, you're gonna need to get some sort of like audio console, like a mixer, where you can plug in multiple microphones and be able to actually get one mix out of the mixer to your streaming software, or to your streaming to your switcher. So that's gonna help, and it should give you some good, decent looking live stream image. So guys, again today, it looks like I don't know what happened today with the YouTube algorithm, or it's just me. I don't know, but we don't have many people watching today. I don't know what happened. So it's very, very weird, like very, very weird. Usually on Fridays I have like so many people watching. Now I have like 4 people now just joined, and I just don't understand what happened today. Most of my stuff not working well, so sorry for me complaining to you guys, but again, it's been awesome. So I was able to share the all the tips. If you have questions before I end the stream, let me know in the chat. Some last minute questions, I'll be more than happy to actually help you. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you being here. I do appreciate you for joining. I hope you learned something. If you're creating content again for social media, or you're trying to build a home office kind of studio, a home studio kind of thing, have questions, make sure you reach out to me. I can help you, maybe help you get the right microphone or the right software. If you need some, how maybe I can train you on how to use some of the software that you may need, or I could even help you, kind of getting started, getting the right lights for your studio, depending on your space, depending on where it's gonna be, depending on how many people you're gonna be who are going to be involved in your team. So like either you're doing solo, or you're doing it with multiple people, let me know. I'll be able to actually help you. Again, I can also review if you're doing it and you need some tips on how you can improve your home studio setup. Let me know, put it in the chat, or send me a message, send me a quick email. I could actually review it here on the channel on the live stream, or I could give you maybe a Zoom call and we could go through it, and I could actually give you some tips. So guys, let me know. I'm here to help you guys. Again, my name is Sam. Live production tips and tools here on the channel. We focus on live production, live streaming, and video recording. The best gear for live production, live streaming, and video recording. Talk about cameras, switchers, software, and everything in between. And it's been an amazing stream today. I hope everybody's doing well. And it looks like the chat is a little quiet, so we're gonna be ending the stream today. Again, thanks for everybody who was able to join. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you hopefully on my next live stream. By the way, next Monday I may be having a guest. I may be having Kirk, so make sure you tune in next Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tune in. We're going to be talking about some of the best live streaming software, talking about vMix, Ecamm Live for content creation, OBS, Wirecast, or some, StreamYard, Melon, all those softwares. You probably, if you're getting started or you're trying to understand which one is the right for you, man, this is gonna be a good opportunity, so not to miss. So make sure you tune in next Monday. Again, if you're watching on replay, this is probably not valid so this won't make sense to you, but you could still actually go to the live stream, because the live stream should be posted here on the channel. So if you're watching on the replay, that's not a problem. You could still actually watch a replay of that live stream. Me and Kirk Nugent, we're gonna be talking about live streaming software, so make sure you don't miss that one. But other than that, so many videos here on the channel teaching you or showing you a lot of tips about live streaming and video production. So make sure you go through my channel. I do appreciate you, and I'll see you on my next video or my next live stream. Take care.